In the glass-walled boardrooms of Upper Hill and the rest and the fast-paced tech hubs of Westlands, a new elite is rising. They are young, they are Kenyan, and they are incredibly wealthy. We see the Ferraris, the multi-million shillings seeding around, and the tailored suits. But if you think their success is just down to a Stanford degree or a fast internet connection, you are only seeing the surface. There is a hidden architecture of power, a silent sacred foundation, building on something the West call superstition, but they call it strategy. Tonight, we are going step by step into the spiritual rituals of Kenyan wealthiest young leaders. We are looking at prosperity, purpose, and the path they walk that most people are too afraid to even mention on social media. The golden circle of influence. Look at the landscape. Our young leaders are dominating finance, green energy, and the creative economy. The world looks at them and sees modernity, but there is a glitch in the narrative. Why is that the most disruptive CEOs in Kenya, especially Nairobi, are still travel back to his village before a major? Why does the founder of a fintech giant refuse to sign a contract on a specific day of the week? Isn't that concerning? Wait, let's deep dive into the rabbit hole. There is an unseen force at play, a golden circle, where the highest level of achievement meets the deepest levels of ancient practice. We have to ask, in a world of data and AI, what do these individuals know about the unseen that we don't? I know you're wondering. Ancestral roots of modern ambition. Okay, let's talk about this problem first. The modern world tells us to cut ties with the past and to move forward. If it tells us that the village is backward and that Kenya's elite past its weight, it is a battery. I know you haven't understand that. So let's talk about the problem first. The modern world tells us to cut ties with the past and move forward. It tells us the village is backward, but for Kenya's elite, the past isn't weight. It is a battery. They keep going to it. Should I repeat it again in order to understand? You don't. So they practice the ritual of the root. You will see a 30-year-old billionaire participating in a traditional liberation ceremony, pouring out a drink to honor those who came before. Why? Because they understand Ubuntu. I am here. I am because we are. They aren't just building a company for themselves. They are carrying the ambition of their ancestors. They walk into a room. They aren't alone. They have a blessing of the elders. And in Kenya, a leader without a blessing is just a man without a bank account. And bank accounts can be emptied. Let me tell you something. The solution is to identity crisis of modern leader is found in this integration. They aren't choosing between village and the city. They are using the village to conquer the city. The sacred spaces, the boardroom decisions. Now, let's get into the private rooms. This is where it gets serious. Behind the closed doors, many of these leaders engage in spiritual consolations. We are talking about cultural experts and spiritual guides, individuals who understand the energy of a deal. A deal. Let's not just talk about luck. This is not about luck. It is about alignment. They might use specific offerings or divination to understand the timing of a public offering. You might laugh and call it shamba talk. Shamba za jiche nyanongelea. But when that leader exits a company for billions, the laughter stops. The problem they face is the coldness of corporate logic. The solution they have found, infusing that logic with spiritual intuition, they don't just look at the EBITDA. They look at the spirit of the partnership. If the vibe is off, or the guide might say, if the ancestors are silent, you have to walk away. They walk away. The ritual of resilience. Let's be honest. If the pressure at the top is soul crushing, depression, anxiety, and the evil eye of envy are the real problems of individuals. This is where ritual resilience comes in. For some, it is just a morning routine involving specific mantras, all wealth affirmation tied to the sun. For others, it is a physical retreat to sacred sites, the forest and the mountains, to the recenter. These practices aren't just self-care, they are survival mechanisms. They don't provide a source of mental strength that gym membership or a therapist alone can't touch. It gives them an ethical grounding in a competitive landscape where everyone is cutting throats. These rituals remind them their purpose beyond the profit. Prosperity, purpose, and the path forward. So, what does this mean for us? We are seeing unexpected synergy. Ancient wisdom isn't just dying, it is being upgraded for the 21st century. The wealthiest, youngest leaders in Kenya have realized that the lead to the modern nation, you cannot be a ghost of the West. You have to be a child of the soil. They are providing that you can't have billion-shillings portfolio and still believe in the power of a community blessing. They are showing that true prosperity is not just about what you accumulate, but what you align with. As we move further into this high-tech future, we will lose our connection to these unseen forces, or we will most successfully among us be the ones who hold the smartphone in one hand and staff of the elders in the other hand. We don't follow the Western, we don't follow the Eastern path of the way, we follow the Western. The future of leadership isn't just digital, it's spiritual, and the question remains, what forces are guiding you? The question is, what forces remain and what forces are guiding you? With that information, you can conquer the entire world with the smartphone on your left hand and the staff of your ancestors on the right hand. Subscribe down below for more information that will guide you on how to conquer the future that we are moving into, the 22nd century.